Okay, go ahead with questions for Miles.
Miles, you were with the U.S. At the beginning of training camp, and I know that Pineda said they were working on defensive principles and things. How comfortable do you feel within his system now that you've been able to be back for a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I definitely feel pretty comfortable. I think we've worked on it a lot over the past few weeks in terms of how he wants us when we don't have the ball, how he wants us when we have the ball, and things like this. So we definitely did a lot of preparation tactically.
Are there any differences between what he was asking y'all to do last year compared to this year when you've actually had some time to work on some things?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always nice to get a full preseason with a group to get that cohesion together and just understand each other better, on and off the field. But yeah, I think we've done a lot so far this preseason.
Kind of the same team, but new faces as well. Like, how do you think you guys are different from this time of year last season?
I think we're just continuing to grow together. There's always going to be ups and downs throughout seasons, but it's about just sticking together. And since we still have that core from last season with a few new faces that are definitely going to help us, I think it's definitely looking bright. I think.
When pundits or I guess people are analyzing the preseason, they've got Atlanta United as a strong team, but not a contender yet. What does that mean to you guys as players? That the fact that yes, people believe this team is talented, but perhaps not at the top of the league just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think we haven't proved ourselves yet, but it just makes us, that much more hungry that we have to prove ourselves and show that we can compete. And it just comes with, that just comes in time. And once we, get games, under our belt and hopefully W's, I think more teams will start to, worry.
Sporting Kansas City, one of the better teams in the league. Atlanta United typically, like last year, didn't beat a lot of the best teams. Mm-hmm. So you get a big test right away. What have you seen from them on film? They don't have Polito right now, but they're a good team. They're solid. How big a test is it?
Yeah, it's definitely a big test. They're always going to be a competitive team. Good group of guys that fight for each other. They've got great wingers that like to go forward and things like this. But I think we've prepared very well for them and understanding what they like to do. So I think we'll be ready.
You mentioned the wingers. What do they like to do? How do you kind of slow them down?
Yeah, these guys like to dribble at defenders. They're fast paced and they're trying to get forward quick. But we just have to ensure that we're tactically in shape and try to slow them down as best as possible.
This being a World Cup year, you've been starting for the U.S. U.S. is trying to still qualify for the World Cup. Is there any more pressure on you to perform well for Atlanta United than any other year?
Yeah, I think that comes with every year you play. You want to be, in this mindset where it's the biggest game every game type of thing. So I think that's how I've thought about it, throughout the years. So every game's definitely a big game, especially this season.
The excitement of just the first game. Obviously, you guys been going to the preseason, you go to Mexico, but to be able to start it off with a full crowd and be over there with the Benz, just that excitement.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to get out there. Yeah, full stadium at the Benz. There's not going to be an atmosphere like it in the MLS. That's for sure. So I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely excited to fight with these guys and just embrace the atmosphere for sure.
Maybe for people that haven't been to an Atlanta United game inside the Benz, maybe people that live in the town, or maybe just weren't into soccer before. What kind of experience is that? And how much do fans kind of help you guys as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a great atmosphere. It's one of those things you don't understand it until you've been there. So, yeah, it's obviously great. But what was the second question?
What is it that makes it special as opposed to any other MLS stadium?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely just the fan base, the electricity in the building. It's definitely something you can, feed off of as a player.
Is there something that you want to personally improve upon this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to improve in every aspect of the game. But, I mean, one thing as a collective, I think we understand that we have to, stay focused throughout the whole 90 minutes. I think last season we gave up way too many goals in the last few minutes of the games. That cost us a lot of points. So I think just as a collective, we definitely have to stay sharp for every second of the game.
Miles, have you spoken to Weston at all? That was just a tough injury to even just to watch. Have you spoken to him, and just what does that mean for the U.S. team to perhaps not be able to have him for the next FIFA window?
Yeah, no, I haven't spoken to him. I've seen the injury. It's definitely tough. It sucks, but it's just the profession we're in. But it's one of those things. It's just a minor setback for a major comeback type of thing.
Anything else from Miles?
How does this season, I guess, going into the season feel different than maybe seasons in the past?
I don't know. I mean, always every season feels very different than the season prior, just based on the guys there. But yeah, I think it's just another year that we're ready to play and ready to get out there.
Good. All right. Thanks, Miles.
Thanks,
All
Miles.
right.
Questions for Luis?
After a full training camp with Pineda, getting to learn exactly what he wants from y'all that he didn't have time to do last year, how comfortable do you feel in the system, and what are your expectations for yourself this season?
Después de esta pretemporada completa con el equipo, ¿cómo te sientes? ¿Cuáles son tus expectativas y objetivos para la temporada?
Depois dessa pré-temporada bueníssima que nós outros estamos fazendo, creio que nós outros estamos preparados. Eu também me sinto muito bem, muito contente acá. Creio que agora pouco mais adaptado com meus companheiros, com meu treinador também. Creio que este partido será um partido para nós outros esse ano também. Estou muito contente e preparado para esta época que será uma grande época para nós outros.
I think after this full preseason with the team, we're feeling good. We've had time to work on things and we're getting prepared. For myself, I think I'm also more adapted this season, more comfortable here, and I'm also very happy here. And with the coach as well, very comfortable. So I think that we're prepared and we're ready for the season.
You've been mentioned as a possible MVP candidate this year. Is that something that you want, and what would it take to get that, do you think?
Se habla de que puede ser un candidato para el MVP de la temporada, si es un objetivo que tienes en mente para esta temporada.
Creio que meu objetivo essa temporada é, claro que fazer o meu melhor. Estou trabalhando muito para ajudar a Atlanta. Meu objetivo é ganhar a liga. E se eu sou MVP, Joseph ou Marcelino ou outro que seja, não é muito importante para nós outros. Creio que o mais importante é o equipo e ganhar esta liga que é muito importante para nós outros.
Yeah, I'm working to do my best, so that's my goal, is just to do the best that I can, and obviously our goal as a team is to win the MLS championship. So whether myself, Joseph, Marcelino, or whatever other player may be for the MVP, that's not the focus. The focus for us is to win.
How has your role shifted from this year to from last year to now?
¿Cómo ha cambiado tu rol en el equipo desde el año pasado a este año?
Creio que estou pouco mais adaptado com meus companheiros também. Conheço pouco da liga e creio que isso vai ajudar muito esse ano. Estou trabalhando muito forte. Creio que esse ano estou melhor fisicamente também, tecnicamente. Então espero que seja um grande ano, não só para mim, mas para todos os jogadores da equipe.
I think I'm more adapted this season, and with my teammates as well. And I think that I'm going to try and work as hard as I can. And se me olvidó esta. ¿Lo puedes repetir, por favor?
No final?
Sí.
Não, que creio que vai ser um grande ano. Creio que estou mais adaptado com meus companheiros, com a liga também. E creio que vai ser um grande ano, não só para mim, mas para todos os jogadores e a equipe.
No, I'm feeling more adapted this season, more adapted to the league, to my teammates, and I think it's going to be a very good year for myself. I'm feeling better physically as well, so I think it'll be a good year for me and the team.
Has anything changed for you tactically within the team?
¿Algo ha cambiado tácticamente?
De equipo? Vamos mirar no partido, creio que no partido vamos mirar se cambiou algo. Este é um ponto forte de nós outros e creio que domingo vamos mirar.
You'll watch the game and you'll see what's changed tactically, but yeah, just watch us on Sunday.
Luis, ¿cómo comparas una pretemporada completa acá con las de Francia, con las de Brasil?
How do you compare a preseason here with in France or Brazil?
Creo que fue muy buena pretemporada, trabajamos muy fuerte físicamente. Creo que de Brasil es buena, de Francia también, y acá es buenísima también, me gustó mucho. Me siento muy preparado físicamente, mentalmente también. Estoy muy encantado com Atlanta, estou muito encantado com a liga, com os fanáticos, com o clube. E espero esse ano dar muita alegria e fazer o que sei fazer, que é jogar futebol.
I think, we've had a very good preseason. We worked a lot physically. Also in France and Brazil, we worked hard in the preseason, but I'm feeling really good here. I'm feeling happy. Hopefully we can give a lot of joy to the fans this year, but I'm feeling really good physically and mentally.
Los hinchas deben tener paciencia con un jugador joven como Thiago Almada, que acaba de llegar, que apenas te está conociendo a ti y a Joseph y a todos los otros compañeros. Deben tener paciencia, porque tiene 20 años apenas.
If fans should be patient with a young player like Thiago Almada.
Creo que Thiago Almada é um grande jogador. Se não fosse bueno, não estava aqui com nós outros. Então creio que está preparado. Nós outros estamos aqui para ajudar também, o que for preciso. E creio que, como todo o equipo me ajudou quando eu cheguei aqui, vamos ajudar ele também para que juntos podemos fazer um grande ano e ganhar o campeonato.
I think Thiago is a great player. We want him to be prepared, and just like everyone on the team who helped me when I got here, we're all going to do the best to help him so that we can have a good year for him, but also for the team. Anything else for Luis? All right, thanks guys.
Gracias.
Thanks Luis.
Hello, good afternoon. Buenas tardes, ¿qué tal? ¿Todo bien?
Alrighty. Y'all ready for coach? Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead.
Coach, Moreno and Almeida were listed as questionable. The game notes, are they definitely out for Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, the announcement is correct, and we're just waiting on that, but obviously we will see what we can have for the bench in the next few hours.
Are there any other players that have been shifted who picked up injuries or are out for Sunday?
No, just the report as it came is correct, and that's what we have.
Have you decided on team captains for either this game or the season?
Yes, you will see on Sunday, but yes, we made a decision.
No hints?
No. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but you will see.
Well, just do you do captains for the season or just per game? What is your
No, for the
mechanism?
season. I always like to think long term on those decisions,
Okay.
unless something dramatic happens. But I think I prefer to announce that to the team once we're in the stadium rather than say it through media. But you guys will see.
How satisfied are you with the preparation done during both preseason and this first week for this game that the team is ready to roll?
I mean, good. It always can be better. I mean, there were some things like players in the international break and not being the first few weeks, and then we were in Guadalajara and a few visas situations, which I understand. I've been in MLS enough, so I know those nuances in the league and those decisions. But aside of that, I'm very happy with what the team has accomplished and what we've been doing in the 6 weeks of preparation before Kansas and before this season, and we're just ready to go.
Sporting KC, the general kind of consensus on them is that they struggle in transition defense. How do you kind of capitalize on that, and do you agree with that assessment essentially?
Well, I have huge respects for Kansas. I think they are a very good franchise that throughout the years they've been applying the same system, the same style, and it's a very good style, by the way. So a lot of respects for Peter Vermees, and they've been always consistent in MLS, and that's something that I admire. And obviously they have a lot of quality, especially in the final third, in the flanks, the overloads with the fullbacks going higher and the inverted wingers coming inside. And certainly at times, yes, that happens. Like when you push your fullbacks very high, sometimes in transition, you can be vulnerable. But that happens with many good teams. And probably they're no different than all of the other teams that like to go aggressive on attack. So yes, we see that, but obviously we are taking care more of our business and how we want to play, and obviously with certain tactics specific for Kansas.
Gonzalo, last year you told us that you worked with the team to understand moments of games, how to manage games. We won't know until this team is playing an official game, but do you feel like, is that something you're still emphasizing, and have you seen progress in that area?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a work in progress. I think it's kind of a new team. There are some players that are not here from last year. I mean, I can highlight the left side, like no Bello, no Barco, so it's kind of a different team now. Santi is on the visa in Argentina, so it might be Aussie, and then that changes a little bit. Alan Franco is suspended, so it's kind of a new back four, and so it's just there. It's hard to now demand little things like that, like understanding moments of the game. We've been more working on understanding the game model and how we want to play and what are going to be the behaviors that we want to see on the field as a collective. And then throughout the week, throughout the season, we will start to talk about those moments of the game. But I think I'm happy with what I've seen throughout the preseason and the training sessions, and I think we did a bit of progress on that.
You mentioned players that are out or suspended or perhaps not available for Sunday. How did that give you an opportunity to see new players, to try things, to experiment, or just what was that preparation like?
Yeah, that's exactly how I see it, because if I express this in a different way, it can sound as an excuse, or as if I'm putting the umbrella before the storm, and it's not the case. I have full confidence in every player that plays for us in any given day. I think all of them are capable of bringing something different, something special, and some uniqueness to the lineup. And so that's how I see it, as a great opportunity to see players and to make them understand that we are going to need from everyone. And there are going to be different moments in the season with the same situations, maybe injuries, maybe suspensions, maybe international breaks here and there, Open Cup. So we're going to need from everyone. And you never know when the first lineup is similar or not to the last lineup in the season. So that's my message for the whole team, is everyone is valuable and everybody is important for the team, and whoever is there has my full support.
When do you typically give a starting 11? When do the players find out?
Sometimes throughout the week. Sometimes I put here and there the lineup. Sometimes they notice. Sometimes I change. Sometimes, but normally I announce that the day of the game. And but some of them probably read it between the lines in my training sessions.
And finally, I believe this is going to be one of the shortest, or if not the shortest, MLS season in history. It's a World Cup year. Does that change how you view like the progression that you've talked about as far as physically, how you manage players' minutes? Does the sports science change at all?
Yes, I think what we are seeing on this calendar is that we have more weekend to weekend games. Mm-hmm. So we don't have too many games in between, in the middle of the week, and Wednesday, Thursdays. So then you can probably apply better your methodology and your periodization. But rather than that, I think it's always the same. It's ups and downs throughout the season and different moments of the season, and you have a higher level in certain parts, and then you have to hold on a little bit on the not so good moments, and it's always like that. So I've seen that the last few years in MLS, and it's not different than that, but obviously it gives you a little bit more a better understanding of working throughout the week, and then see the game how we apply that.
Is there a position on the team that you would like to see an addition or strengthened? Roster compliance says today y'all could end up having a couple slots available.
I'm very happy with the roster I have, and I mean, I don't know how to respond to that, because I don't dream with other positions. I just dream with the players I have, and I dream with them performing at a high level and with how they can shape together a good squad to win in the MLS Cup. So, I mean, if we have the ability to bring Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo or some of those, I mean, welcome. But now I have my Messi and my Cristiano Ronaldo here, and that's how I see it. I have the players that I want to have, and that's how I see it.
Well, you've already got left and right wings. I don't know where you play them.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a good problem. That could be a good problem to have.
Have you been told, or do you know when Sosa, Abada, and Almeida are scheduled to return?
No, not yet. I mean, obviously, it's a process, a visa process that we have to go through, and I'm not an expert on that, so the timings for those returns, I can tell you we are wishing them to be here, and I wish that's as soon as possible, but it's in other hands, and we're just patiently waiting for them.
How nice has it been to actually be able to implement your system, as opposed to when you just arrived and you're trying to get everything together, you had an entire offseason, preseason. How nice has that kind of been, and I guess where do you think your team is in regards to where you want them to kind of be in your system?
Yes, I think that's a very good question, because we pretty much have 6 weeks to prepare one game, right? That doesn't happen very often. And then after that, you will have 1 week to prepare the next game. So it's very good to have that implementation and seeing the progress since the very beginning, almost from scratch. You start to build all the principles or the situations that you want to see in the game. And it's been fantastic to see that. Since day one in the preseason, we've been trying to accomplish certain things. And I think week after week, when we review, we accomplish most of those things. And I think the team is in a very good level in many different ways. And hopefully we just can perform that and see some of that in the next game, and that's it.
What does the team have to do consistently in order to consistently win this year?
We have to create more and better chances than the opponent in every game, and that's the way the belief I have, that when you do that consistently, then you have more probabilities to win. Maybe not more chances, because anyone can beat you in any given day, even with one shot. Sometimes even without one shot, you can win a game. So I think, but when you create always the quality of your chances, the famous expected goals stat for us is very important, because we want to be the team that is proactive and is attacking constantly. And if we do that consistently with the amount of quality we have in the final third, I think we can be very successful.
Gonzalo, go ahead, please.
Oh, no, profe, una pregunta. La
Sí.
afición se ha estado preparando toda esta semana para el partido inaugural el domingo. ¿Qué pueden esperar para ver este domingo y qué mensaje tiene usted para la afición?
Bueno, como siempre, primero que nada, agradecimiento por la calidad de aficionados que tenemos. Tenemos una afición bastante pasional que nos demuestra cada partido en casa que están con nosotros, e incluso cuando vamos de visita, muchas veces un gran número de aficionados van a los estadios a vernos, y eso nos llena de alegría y nos inspira mucho a rendir mejor siempre dentro de la cancha, ¿no? ¿Y qué pueden esperar? Pues primero que nada, un equipo que se va a matar dentro de la cancha, que va a luchar todos los balones, que va a poner una grandísima intensidad. Eso es lo que yo espero de ellos, y creo que como aficionado al fútbol, antes que entrenador, es lo que yo espero ver de mi equipo, un equipo que juegue con gran intensidad y que pelee cada balón como si fuera el último. Y después esperemos que puedan ver también buen fútbol y que puedan ver un equipo atractivo, un equipo que les guste cómo juegue y que se identifiquen con ellos, y ojalá que podamos complacerlos el próximo domingo.
Last one, yeah. I've written this. I think I've heard other, national analysts and writers say that this is your first full preseason. Like, it's your first year. Like, now we can really expect to see the Atlanta United under Gonzalo Pineda. Do you think that's a fair assessment? And then, how long as a coach, do you say, hey, by the 6-month mark or the 3rd week, this is when I think my team is going to be playing the way I want them to see? Like, how much patience should we all have?
Well, first of all, yes, I think it's a good assessment. I think it's the first time that I have really the time to really implement. I mean, again, with the little nuances there that I haven't have kind of the whole squad at some point in the preseason, but it's not an excuse. I think I'm happy with what we accomplished here. And patience in football is not too big for managers, and I understand that, and that's why we are always on the toes, and we are always, prepare for whatever happens, because our bar is very high, and we expect since day one we see the type of team that we all, not just my team, because it's not just my team or my ideas, it's always a collective, starting from the front office, the vision they have from the club, and then the coaching staff, and then obviously the players. And it's not, I don't feel like it's my team, it's fans team, it's owners team, it's front office team, it's players team, it's coaching staff, it's a staff. So I share this with many people here in the club, but I'm the responsible for what the product you see on the film, and I take that responsibility very high, and I expect to see the ideas that we all bring together since day one.
Great, thanks.
Gonzalo, Alejandra de Telemundo. Ahorita con todo lo que está pasando en el mundo tiempo que vivimos la pandemia, la crisis de la guerra, el fútbol siempre brinda lo que el mensaje de unidad, de alegría, y ahora más que nunca la gente va a estar buscando eso, de sentir eso que ustedes pueden brindar más que nadie. ¿Cómo se sienten como equipo ahora con el partido que se viene y con lo que ustedes aportan al mundo con ese mensaje?
Sí, yo creo que es la parte más bonita del fútbol, es eso, que podemos de alguna manera traer alegría a las personas y momentos de diversión, quizás en momentos que no son tan agradables, ¿no? Hoy políticamente estamos viviendo una situación, no sé si todavía llamarla a nivel mundial, pero sí algo que yo creo que todos estamos al pendiente. Lo mismo pasó con la pandemia y yo creo que el fútbol dentro de todo trajo muchas alegrías en esos momentos y es parte de la responsabilidad que tenemos como miembros de esta industria del fútbol, que tenemos que sentir esa responsabilidad de que la gente nos está mirando para sentir algo, sentir una emoción, sentir pasión, sentir que los entretenemos de una manera muy bonita, con un deporte hermoso, de un punto de vista el más hermoso del mundo y obviamente es un buen recordatorio de lo que dices para todos nosotros brindarnos siempre al máximo porque esa responsabilidad social siempre estará presente.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Gracias.
Remember, that's what happened with the